Hello, everyone. Welcome to Owen County Soil and Water Conservation District's monthly Board of Supervisors meeting. Thank you for joining us. Just talking about a lot of interesting stuff. If something perks your interest, give us a call later. Stop by the River House. I'd be glad to have a conversation with you. Let the meeting begin.
All right, so have you heard anything from Corbin, Tammy? I guess
He is going to appear via Zoom,
he's gonna be on Zoom. Okay.
and he is here as we speak.
Awesome. Sounds
Hello,
good.
Corbin.
All right, so we got full attendance here, so we will go ahead and call the meeting to order here for the September meeting of the Owen County Soil and Water Conservation District. All right, so we'll go ahead and start off here with our budget review from the left.
On the budget review follow-up?
Yep.
It went very well.
Yep.
I did ask for three things. One of them I didn't think I would get. We'd already discussed that. Increasing, and I'll try to get out of the way, sorry. Increasing the amount in contract services so that I could have Amy longer because of part-time hours. Unfortunately, they decided no on that. Doesn't surprise me. Other people have asked for staff and they were denied also. The other thing, which is most important, December 1st of 2026, our rental, not loan or mortgage, rental will be paid off. And Anton brought that up and was concerned about that line item. Of course, their first question, the council, was, why are we paying for a building that doesn't belong to the county? Thank you, Steve, for being there. He helped explain that.
How did that go? I mean, what was the temperature after you had that competition? So it seems like it's come up before.
Yes, and we've explained it before, and there was maybe two people on the council who were still, frowning and trying to figure it out. And when I talked through that it was a rental, we happen to use about that much money to pay the mortgage, but we rent office space to the county for their staffing. And then it slowed quite a bit.
Okay, good.
And so what ended up happening is, because we will lose that line item next year. So I didn't want to lose those funds, so I wanted two additional line items, one for utilities, I told you about that, and one for our liability insurance, totaling $5,000, $3,000 for one, $2,000 for the insurance. And the board did agree, I'm going to pay off our mortgage at the end of the year, use that account. 2026, we will no longer, the rental account will be zero. It's not going away.
Yes.
It's going to be zero, but we still have that money to apply to utilities, so that's a good thing.
Yep.
And we really needed those two line items up anyway, because, yes, in the greater scheme of things, $3,000 a year for utilities is not bad, because that's gas, electric, and water. But still, every little bit helps. So, like I said, it went well. I'm pleased, and I'm going to start going to the meetings, and they said that they could put me first on the agenda, just to give them a heads up of what we are doing, because like Steve shared, Stephen Correll and Nick Robinson, they're still not even sure what we do. Now, Stephen, you can't get in touch with them. If you go online under county government, all the council are listed with pictures and contact. He is not. And I guess I thought that they were supposed to be open and transparent. He does have that right to choose to not be as accessible. So I will be doing that. Amy and I have worked on having just one calendar. You remember 2 years ago I started that and just didn't finish it.
It's just ready to be sent to everybody.
Yeah, and so she's done a really, really good job managing that. And that's something that will be sent on a regular basis to the county council, the town council, and the commissioners, because we're at that point now. They need to know what we're doing for them. So that went very well. So that's it.
That's a good update. Appreciate you guys working on that. And thank you, Steve, on who else are the board members that came to that
I
hearing.
tried to come, but they upped it on me and
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first meeting, I think there were 2 meetings, because I got called to a second one, and I already lost my. Sorry. Yeah, I came in, and they said, hey, we're ready for you. It's like, wait, what? It's 9 o'clock, what? And I ended up going, Amy came with me,
It was scheduled for 1 o'clock.
Right, and it was
Or a
later
slot,
than,
yeah.
yeah, and
They
what
wanted
happened
her-
was they wanted what they termed to me after the fact, and she agreed, shared it too, the easier ones first. Because keep in mind, I was asking for 5,000. I actually totaled 15,000, because 10 for Amy. They have the highway department coming in asking for $4 million additional dollars on top of their $2 million. They had and they did get that. The highway department now has $6 million. I'm not gonna talk politics. It is what it is.
I'm okay with it.
We better- we better have some
prefer
rules.
federal rights.
I
I'm
would
okay
say
with
it's
that.
about time to get some funding.
No, and it's,
Yeah.
no, and we have an issue with roads.
Yeah.
I know that we do, and, that just gives you an idea, there is a desperate need in our county, and certain areas, like the highway department, like EMS, emergency services, they are grossly overfunded, and the fact that the Board of Health, now the health department is part-time. What's gonna happen when COVID hits again? You know, and they
Did you
have to
just
lay
say EMS is grossly overfunded?
No, underfunded.
Underfunded.
No,
Okay.
I meant underfunded, I said, I had
I know
to
what you
discuss
mean.
it.
Yeah,
So they understand.
It's
No,
just
no,
confirmed, that's why.
I get you. I get you.
So-
We're good.
You hear that,
chat?
You're right, it's so
And so
much.
that, and so what happened,
The Karens are coming out for you.
the reason why I ended up having to go a second time is, Anton had requested information on our rental. And I was able to get the original note, a history tracking all the way from, Owen Community Bank up to now, and the statements, and they were pleased with that. They were pleased, and I think that helped a lot, knowing that we were so organized. Again, we had 2 people, we only had 1 person vote against it, actually, because Nick Robinson did vote in favor of doing this, transfer of accounts. Stephen, it is what it is. I don't know how to get on the other side. He's just
You're
very.
not gonna please everybody.
Yeah.
That's why it's a board, not a single person. He's gotta get the majority, so you're fine there. That's good. I appreciate the update. Thank you for the work you did, Tammy, to get that there. Sounds a good update. And but so going forward, you're going to the council meetings every month or once or twice a year? How are you
No,
going?
my intent is go every month, and I will share. That's up to, like this month, Monday, they had a special meeting, what they called. I did confirm with Polly, who is our liaison, but I did not have to go because I was committed to go to the Spencer Parks meeting in regard to Arbor Day, which we'll come up to later. But as long as I keep the communication, and I'll share with you the reason why, because I was going on a regular basis monthly. Just once a month is when they have meetings. Well, I went to that one meeting that lasted till 11 o'clock, and I was yet, even in the winter, it's like, okay, I'm,
Yeah.
you know, I don't know if it's that important, because they were dealing with important stuff, and I almost felt like I was wasting time. So, but yeah, that's it.
Awesome.
Well, a comment on that. I think the board members should try to help
I agree.
there too.
Yep.
And we need to do more to stay in tune with the county council especially.
Could even take turns.
Yeah, rotate it around.
Right.
Yeah, I think that would be nice, because I don't know if I had shared it with you, and I don't think I had. One of the comments, regarding rental and regarding this, and I think you were there when Nick said, well, why don't you, he goes, well, my half is on the property.
Yeah.
Why don't you
Charge
charge for
fee.
my, charge a
fee.
use fee.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, we can't do that. Number one, it's not part of the Upland Trails grant agreement, and 2, no. But he actually said that, and if we did, that money would go back to my half for me.
Yeah, but we have heard before from the county council that we need to be more creative in generating funds. We need to,
Right.
they would love for us to be self-sufficient, and they wouldn't have to worry about us, I think is the bottom line. But they've suggested before that we do something to generate funding.
And I'm working on it. I'm trying to get creative. I know that investing, I think, helps, because we are getting a good return, and that's the easier way to earn money. And then, of course, we're not going to make money on that.
No.
But Amy and I have talked about ideas for 2026. It's just, because they did bring that up again. I think they're bringing that up with every department.
Yeah, I think they do too. I think
When they
try
say,
to push back when you ask for
yeah,
money.
when they say cut utilities, and it turns out that our utilities for a month, you do the math. 3,000 divided by 12, and that's 3 utilities, that's like
$250.
Yeah. So we are doing our part.
Right. Anyway, I agree. Yeah, we just gotta make sure we have a presence there so they can see what we're doing. And yeah, once it gets to that point, you just let us know how you want us, as a board, to help you with those updates of the council meetings and stuff.
Council meetings are the 4th Monday. No, correction. Let me verify, because this was a special meeting called to finish up the budget. That's the reason why it's not needed there, because I was finished. So.
Once you find out, we can discuss it there and just get it together. All right, guest reports. So Aaron, I will let you go first.
Okay, yeah. So, kind of last month, we talked about the reorganization. The comment period was extended to September 30th. And more than half of the people in DC, which is about 4,600 people, they're hoping to will relocate to one of the 6 different hubs, and Indianapolis being one. Comment period till September 30th, and there's some more information online, a little bit about that. We had critical vacancies that they opened up. So they opened up positions that were mostly DC positions that people had, they were empty, people retired or whatever. Anyways, and 300 of the 1,200 that's nationwide were filled. In this area, Rachel, I think you guys probably remember Rachel Fair, she moved to Park. So Putnam is being covered by Jack Basker. And then, and then Mariah, she was in Clay County. She bumped back down to Clay, so she's back in Clay. So there's been a few changes, but it's mostly just kind of more of a shuffling.
Is Christy Kennedy still with you guys? I know one time she was there.
No. She has been a few years, yeah. She was in Clay
I
for
know
a
she
short
moved
while.
around. I didn't know where she was.
Did she end up as a full-time farmer?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I think she
Yeah.
was staying home.
Gotcha.
So,
Last I heard.
That's the way to do it.
yeah.
You can.
So Farm Bill programs, CSP renewals have been paused, and most IRA modifications have been paused for the moment because of the Big Beautiful Bill. Currently, only direct contract transfers can be done with IRA. Modifications are not allowed at this time for any of those or anything. There's a couple of areas, the Mississippi River Basin Healthy Watershed Initiative and the National Water Quality Initiative have been selected for targeted funding for EQIP in the next round. And that's in Spencer County, Shelby County, Clinton, Boone, Hamilton, and Tipton. And then,
So that means I'm not going to get a contract.
no, it's different funding, so different. Remove,
You said Mississippi
Yeah,
River
yeah,
Basin, that's
Yeah.
like a lot bigger than
A
that.
lot of Indiana.
yeah,
That's
it says Buckhorn Creek specifically and Sugar Creek have been selected. So, sorry. And then Cicero Creek was the other one. Removal of DEI criteria. USDA removed race and gender considerations from its program eligibility per the executive order 14151. Additional information on how this impacts NRCS. Financial assistance will be forthcoming. This Southern Indiana Sentinel Landscape RCPP, I think I mentioned that last month. It's been paused for the moment until we hear further. The ACES agreements, which is agreements with like retirees and that kind of stuff, that expires on August 29th and it has been extended to December 31st. So, small farm technical assistance, we have urban agreements that are going to expire at the end of this fiscal year. And our state resource conservationist is working on a plan to add additional funding. More information will be forthcoming when that's been secured. And then the National Resource Inventory Data Collection, which is something that I mentioned last time too, so it's just kind of a reiteration of
And
that.
you'll let me have that.
Sure can.
And then before you end, I want to continue on here.
Yes,
Since
go ahead.
I know that you're limited on your time. We did do the surveys at
Okay.
Water Day.
Yeah.
I'm very pleased with that. Thank you for your patience. I need to take advantage of Erin while she's here on locally led working group. Here's a copy of the results. I do have a big copy if that's too small for you. And Erin, if you want to look at the big copy, there you go.
Okay, the small one works.
Huh?
I said the small one works for me.
Okay.
You can,
There you go, Amy.
as long as there's enough.
There you go, and I'll let you go ahead and look at that too. We ended up collecting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 surveys. And I thought that was very exciting. You can see what I did. I just put in 1 point for each. How we approached this was we just told people, thank you, Steve. Thank you, Doris. They handled this for us. To just tell people select 10. They did not have to put them in a ranking order. We did have some that did put them in a ranking order. I still just went ahead and picked the one.
Okay.
I then sorted this sheet, as you can tell, in the top ones. You can see it at the back, the right-hand column, the tally 2025. Most of our surveyors, they did select a majority of the recommended NRCS practices for Indiana. You'll notice that there are 2 that are not considered recommended. That being said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, I added 2 more highlighted because you notice that there's 3 that receive 6 votes each.
Yeah.
What I would encourage is number 40. Do you see what I'm looking at? Petroleum and heavy
Mhm.
metals.
Yep.
I say we take that off, move number 42 up, take 13 off, move 18 and 26 up, because we're still right there, and that's still in the top vote categories. Does that sound correct to you? Because we're still covering the NRCS recommended practices.
So the bottom line is, we've gathered some information from our county society residents, and we are going to consider those
Mhm.
and update our recommended list.
Okay, sounds good.
And that's incorrect too. And then I'll
Yes,
send you
and then
this
just send it to me.
information,
The
and
final
then
list goes to you.
Yep, and then the like the information that goes with it, like the number of surveys I think we have to have. And then I'll put it on the portal and let Miranda, the person, know, and then I think she informs state office.
So let's just confirm, number 15, nutrients transported to groundwater.
Yep.
Sounds like a good one, that's one. And you also see the history of it too.
Yeah.
2022, 23, and 24, so that one was a top for the last 2 years. Classic foliar erosion, of course, pathogens and chemicals from manure, biosolids and compost applications transferred to groundwater. Again, that one was a top one last year. Now, say that word for me.
Ephemeral.
Thank you, gully erosion, that was a top one in 2022. Does that sound all right?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, plant productivity and health, last 3 years running. Here's another one that was a top in 2022. Sediment transported to surface water. I still think that works for our environment. What do you think?
Yeah.
Does that?
Yeah.
Because I know that
for a
last
variety of
time we had
things.
one that you had said, even though it wasn't yellow, another one would be better.
Yeah.
Soil organism habitat loss or depletion. Yeah, absolutely. Then I would suggest moving terrestrial habitat for wildlife and vertebrates. That's always been a top. That other one, number 33, we've never had that in the top before. So what do you think about that? Number 33, soil organism habitat loss.
I think that's definitely one that we look at, especially for like cover crops and stuff like that.
Okay, so we want to keep that there, so that would be a good one. Number 18, pathogens and chemicals from manure, biosolids, or compost application. This one is the one transferred to surface water, and so we have groundwater and surface water. Again, that was one of our top in the last 3 years. And then plant That's too pressure. Say that 3 times again. And that was one that we always had,
Yeah,
so.
that's one that we usually break a lot for like invasives, so.
And so for our community, I know that we really don't have a forestry thing here or anything, but this should.
Well, that last one was definitely a forestry one,
Okay, the
yeah.
last one is a forestry one, and
Yep.
so this works perfectly, and so.
Yeah.
We'll get more
I think you got a
applications.
good mix of, forestry, there's some cropland, and then there's also some pasture stuff in there, so yeah.
Okay.
And wildlife.
Okay, good, I'm glad, so we'll do that. I did receive 2 votes for objectionable odor, and that's just because once you don't stink. Remember when we were stinking, because they said, well, no, we were stinking because the smell was so bad, and they found rats and things. Oh, yeah, it was bad, there was a reason why it stopped. Interesting, okay.
So we want to give special thanks to Chris Gonzo. He brought the paw.
Oh, yes.
that we use to bribe people.
Oh,
Yeah, I forgot about that, so, okay, I'm gonna actually put that.
Steve
in
was
my
very
notes.
creative.
Bribery is always a good tactic.
He's like, if you fill this out, you'll get a pop-up.
Yeah.
And then, oh, I don't want a pop-up. Well, if you don't take a pop-up, you have to fill this out.
Yeah, he did do that, so he,
There-
that's
That's pretty
actually
good.
within the minutes, I guarantee it.
Any other questions for Aaron? Thank you for the update.
Yeah, thank you.
I'll go turn it over to Laura. Yeah, we got updates for us on the Fish Creek grant.
Nothing too much. Unfortunately, I did text Josh today just to ask about that management plan and their cycle is, like I said, they've been kind of slower on some of these things, but he said he's 90% of the way through, like, looking at the, what did he say exactly? Looking at the updated draft, that I sent him a couple months ago. I think it was like late July or early August. So he's finishing that up. Says everything looks good. So I'm hoping by the next week or so, we should, well, a couple weeks probably, we'll have it available to put on the website and share. And I think Tammy updated the necessary like dump numbers or one of the
I was
board
saying,
management.
yeah, I was able
Yeah.
to get that, it just had to be renewed, and then I had to kind of jump through who, because it was all under, John's name, and I had to prove I was a real person, so.
I know that's so good that you thanks for doing that. So, with that updated, there should be nothing standing in our way from the next round of funding. I did meet with him recently and I asked, and he said it's probably going to be, based on just what they've been seeing in recent years, probably January to like February is when we'll be looking for that, but it will, I hope that either Tammy or I are CC'd on the grant thing, but Corbin, you may keep an eye on your email here. We're starting probably in December.
Okay.
Because they'll send an email asking for like a digital signature and stuff. So once that gets started, that kind of triggers the start for the next grant. So that should be maybe at the early December, but probably January, February. So I was frustrated that the management plan stuff is taking longer than I wanted. However, I think it's going to dovetail nicely into the next grant, so that I was a little concerned that we might be like, hey, everybody, management plan's finished. Oh, wait, we don't have any money, so just hang on for another 6-8 months. So it'll all work out, I think, for the best there. And I know we still have to print a copy for the Hollywood folks, I think, wanted a copy, and we'll just have a copy on file at the office, and then it'll be online. So everything seems good on that front, and yeah, mostly I just like tuning in and hearing what's up with y'all too. So
Well, I do want to follow up with you. I've had 2 people, one Karen Huss, of course, and then someone else, I have her name in the other office. They are interested in seeing that and perhaps even getting a hard copy or a printed copy.
well, it's like with all the appendices, it's like an 800-page document. So I
Okay,
don't
so
think
I'm
we
gonna
really
tell
want to
you-
like.
Yeah, that's not doable, then I'll tell them that. But when do you,
It's online.
Yeah, we can put it online.
so that it will be online
Yes.
and it won't be online until.
They're gonna need
We're not
6
gonna-
reams of paper.
Yeah. Yes.
You're
And
reading
if any, I know Karen specifically and some of those folks. I did give a 2-week editing view. I emailed her and like all of the core members what the advisory committee, and I gave like a 2-week ask for comments before I sent it to item last spring.
Okay.
And and I did not hear from her
Okay.
or anybody else.
Okay,
So
both of
I-
these people just reached out at Water Day, because we happen to be at
Okay,
Water Day.
perfect,
Both of
yeah.
them. One approached Steve, I believe.
I gave the speak now or hold the peace,
It was
2 week window, so, when it gets approved, it shall be approved, and that will be it.
So when I call them and follow up, I'll just tell them hopefully January, February, well, just sooner than that, maybe November.
Yeah, I think so too. The other thing I wanted to give you guys a heads up, I'm gonna be on extended leave, not that I'm working for you currently, but from October 14th till November 5th. Yeah, so I'll miss your October meeting. But hopefully by then, Josh will have finished this, and then we'll email it out to the advisory committee, and they can all, look at it and do whatever they want with it. But again, once that's finalized, it's finalized, so that's not, once it's online, it's not really open for comments anymore, that time has
I
passed,
said
so,
that, I get that.
yeah, so, yeah, anything else, any questions? And then we'll set them up on a page before the end of the year, I'm sure, on the calendar, as long as it's paid during this year, I'm happy, but it's, I think Josh is very close to being finished, so.
All right,
Okay.
thank
Oh, I
you,
think
Laura.
that sounds great, thank you, Laura.
Any questions for Laura? Okay, thank you. All right, turn it over to Holden, ICA updates.
Ooh, what we've been doing. So recently,
CRP, lots and lots of
CRP, boy,
CRP.
CRP and crap. Not a ton in Owen County. I think there was 2 in Owen County total. One was out of the Green Council, or one was out of the Clay County office. Maybe both of them were actually, but they're right on the Clay and Owen line over there. But yeah, so crep stuff has been top of mind as of lately, just with deadlines and things like that, having to get them all updated. I did get a thing from Sam Strobel the other day that I will send out as well. I'll probably just send it in the email of your guys' meeting. But it's the ICP partnership accomplishments for 2024. So it's just a full breakdown of the entire Indiana Conservation Partnership, and it has a lot of really good information in there. You know, like the one that I gave out last meeting that had each county specific. This is an amalgamation for the entire
All
state.
state.
So it's got really cool little feed through there to where you can click through and see what all the
that's
different things are on there. The ICP funding one though that was interesting was there was over $121 million in 2024 that went towards conservation in the state of Indiana. Most of that was from the federal level, either through CRP, CSP, or EQIP. But when you look at small funding programs, and a lot of these which are locally led, CWI 319 grants accounted for nearly $10 million of that. And there's also layered grants, and it has a breakdown for each different type of grant, which I think is kind of neat. It's cool to see how that breaks down. Also, all of our data from the conservation transect that we did in each county is there as well. So I'll send that out. Like I said, it was just kind of neat to look over and see. Recently, we've been doing a lot of like conservation days, field days, things like that with the schools. I was in Putnam County all morning today doing that. Then we were at Vigo County for 3 days a couple weeks ago. They had over 1,200 kids go through, 5th graders. So that's a big one over there. And the Clay counties will be here in 2 weeks or so. I think October 9th.
What
So,
did
yeah.
you do
Tis the
while you
season.
were there?
So there was, I think today there was 13 rotations or 13 stations. The one that I was at, we were looking at macroinvertebrates in the creek. So the creek runs along the backside of the Putnam County Fairgrounds. And then by doing that, you go through the water and look at the macroinvertebrates that are present. You can kind of gauge how the water quality is at that point, because certain bugs that you'll see are really intolerant to pollution, whereas other ones are very tolerant. So we did find quite a few that were very intolerant. So
Good.
kind of a good sign of some good water quality being right there, especially that close to the fairgrounds. It's good to see. Yeah, so that was interesting for me. I think they also had some of the guys from like the conservation officers were there with the booth. They had a rainfall simulator. We had a beekeeping. There was some, like I said, 13 different stations. So it was good for them to go through and see. But yeah, it's been a hot button right now. I know Sullivan also has theirs going on this week as well. I think it's Tuesdays.
Well, they created Carol reach out to you guys about
Yes.
the active. Okay.
Gotcha.
We're gonna be there.
Awesome deal.
Finally.
Yeah.
Well, I've been trying to, for the last last 2 years, maybe just not.
Well, there's some structure change now, so Carolyn's in charge of the ag program now, so which I think was a good decision.
Yeah.
She's more organized.
Not.
Shelby, she's still involved, but she's the middle school teacher, but she's not the department head anymore. Carolyn is now the department head, so she'd be your main contact there.
No.
Everything.
Yeah, and then our soil sampling program is still up and running right now, so I know we've had at least 3 landowners in Owen County already sign up. Did one on the phone the other day while I was in here, and then had a few different in Morgan County, 2 or 3 of them in Vermillion already. So yeah, that ran. Also caught a hold of the IBCA. They ran it through the newsletter this past week, and I'll be running it until it ends. The last day for that is October 17th. So that Friday.
That's the last day to sign up.
The sign up.
When's
right.
your last day to get samples pulled and pulled in?
I can do it whenever.
Okay.
Yeah, as long as you get signed up, you're good. I usually have some from the spring that people have elected to. Well, just didn't get done in the springtime, we'll do it in the fall, so those are carried over and we'll do those ones. So, yeah, the main thing is just getting signed up. That still is an 100-acre cap. The next time we do it in the spring, there's a chance that might change. Do a little bit smaller acreage and a little more specified. Just things we've been talking about, but we will see. We'll definitely be offering it again in the spring. But if you want to get it done, obviously before the end of the year, that'll be the time to do it. Who was it?
Is that her name? The lady I talked to?
Lunsford.
Lunsford, excuse me.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe should be. She's signed up now as well.
Okay.
So.
Well, she came to the one for the land and she expressed interest.
Right. Yeah, but
Package.
I think that's what I've got so far. Oh, the important one to the ISWCD,
Is that yours?
down at
Yeah.
Overpack display.
It was nice.
Yeah,
Really good.
yeah, they're nice people down there, so that was good to see. Some sort of success story,
There's probably 30, 40 people there, I'm guessing, all together. So it was a good turnout.
Yeah, I think there's 11 SWCDs represented there. So, yeah. That was last week.
That was last Thursday.
Right.
Definitely good. I'm glad they did it. This is the first time they've done the farm tour, conservation tour in like over a decade. So that was nice to see. Hopefully they keep doing it. I think it's getting more information, seeing practices and use is really cool. Okay. Any questions for Holden at all?
What kind of practices did they show down there?
They had a field boundary, so like they had the waterways they put in there on their soybean field. They showed they were highlighting the soil pit. Yeah.
They're produce farmers, so
They
they
did the hoop
had farm houses. They showed the hoop houses there. They also had a pond set up. That's where they used all of their water for all their produce and everything like that from that pond there. So it's 100 acres that feeds into that pond though, and has a spring as well, development there. So the fact that they can just keep it all right there is definitely a nice touch. Yeah, we got quite an operation going there.
Because they rotate melons every 5 years on that ground, and I didn't realize how sandy that ground is over there, but it is there south of Brownstown. There's a pocket where it's just really sandy. So Bologna is where it was at. It wasn't too far from Bologna.
Yeah. So that's real sandy soil up there too.
They're really interesting. It was a good day. Okay, any questions for Holden? All right.
You're gonna do, you still got common grounds on your
Oh, yeah.
calendar.
Yep, next Friday.
And he is going to be our special guest.
Awesome.
You heard anything. And I had a little poster already, a little flyer hung up in a board, so we'll start. Do you have a cute picture?
Of me?
Okay. I Maybe a picture of you in action.
Football picture, maybe.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have to get a picture there. Did Nathan Stolting give you any updates on his end? Stolting, did Nathan give you any updates to share?
Are you going to succession planning tomorrow?
Yes, we are. Yeah, we are doing that. And
My job doesn't
really,
change if you guys leave.
I do receive messages from him as far as an actual report, no, he's not.
Okay.
I know that he's focusing on succession planning, I know he's focusing on, we have the IDEA conference coming up, it is gonna be in, Monroe County at Four Winds, so obviously we're not, Amy and I are not spending the night. And he's just focusing on us, meeting deadlines, tis the season, one of them, which we'll address
We'll talk in a
later,
little bit.
is, so we'll talk, but really that's all.
Okay.
We're focusing on that, because he had gone over the supervisor summit, and now he's just working on, SWCD staff, in his training and succession.
And they're going through and ranking CWI applications now. So that's part of the process that they're doing at this point as well with the state office. So we're trying to get those handled.
Kyle gave you the My Path update.
Yes, he did. Alrighty, Kyle is applying for another Indiana Trails Program grant, despite although there's still a lot of changes with the current administration and cutbacks and things like that, there is still money in the state account for this, and they need to spend it. Kyle's gonna take advantage of it. The application is due October 1st. This will connect the current end of My Path with a natural service trail to the DNR program, a new trailhead on the SWCD land, similar to what we have right now. My understanding is this is where the Paw Trail is. You're familiar with that. And one of the bicycles and ADA equipment will share the river road to the new spot. There is a 2,000-foot natural surface trail, which will include the limestone ledge. This is very exciting. On Paw Trail that we walked on, I think we walked on it,
I don't remember.
there is,
It's all the way at the end.
yeah, it's down at the end by River Road, and then there's a rough trail right along the river. There are areas where even this old woman can walk down to the dry river edge, and that's what he's talking about, the limestone ledge. And he's proposing putting in accessible steps, natural steps, to get down there. And there are two very good areas that, again, I can do it, I can get down, I can get up without hurting
Now,
myself.
well, I'm just thinking here, who will police it, like, to close it off, to keep people from going down there when the river is higher? I mean, obviously, right now with the river being low, it's fine, but.
It's gonna have to be my path. And we do have high water signs, there's one in the bathroom, as you know. That is a concern, I know that Kyle, that's gonna have to be his responsibility. And the thing is, even though he lives in Bloomington, he has a good relationship with the foundation and with Pride, because they assist with watering the plants and all, and they use the gator, and also with Friends of My Path. They would come out and put up signs, so that's 100% the responsibility. The purchase will include the house, 1375 River Road, the 8-frame house. He's hoping to use that for restrooms, office space, programming, and storage of maintenance equipment, and that would be nice. On the trailhead counter, just comparing it over the past 3 years, 2023, it counted 444 bodies. 2024, 1,401 person, and then 25, 1846. And so it's really moving up, and I see people doing quite a bit. The My Path Economic Impact, IU Center for Rural Engagement worked with the O'Neill School of Public Environmental Affairs on a project to analyze the My Path Trail and regional trail system plans. They found a lot of good information. I don't know if you remember this or not. These are students. And what they do is sort of like a SPIA. And they come out and they look at a site like Gosport, they did this for Gosport, and they recommend how to promote it, how to bring people into the community. And this was really nice and important. And
It was a good presentation.
Nice.
yeah, it was a good present. The kids really worked hard on that. And then also the second annual My Path 5K Run Walk will be Saturday, October 18th, 2025 at 8:30 a.m. It starts and finishes at the fairground. I'm going to read this because he typed it. Tammy is our hero because she made sure that the Laird project will start after the event. And
Nice.
they did, and you never know unless you try. Our project had been pushed back because of the weather, and it was getting close to the event. This is a very good fundraiser for them. We want it to look pretty, and I just said, I called the Stanger group, and they laughed and said, we weren't planning on starting it till October 20th. But it's always best to confirm, and that way they'll help market them, and it'll help market us, because people are gonna be walking by us.
Yeah.
So that is his report.
Awesome. Well, that's good.
Tammy, does he have any kind of a map that shows the next level trail proposal?
He does get that. And actually, what I would like to do is go ahead and get a copy of the map and maybe a copy of the grant
Yeah.
application, just so we know exactly what
Yeah,
he's talking
that would be
about.
interesting.
That's good. All right, any other MyPath questions while we're discussing that? All right.
I will share one, just one real
Yes.
quick. Ever since we moved the food pantry and the little library, the food pantry, the squatters, I have not seen the squatters, and I have not seen trash. I know that when the walkers walk on Wednesday, they pick it up. There's another gentleman who walks every day and he cleans up the trail. He even commented, John, that the trash was down and we have not had any more history of vandalism.
Good.
So I do think that, I know it's sad, but we can't have squatters here. So I
Yep.
just wanted to share that our efforts,
Yeah.
and I feel bad that I encouraged that 2 years ago. So.
Hey, live and you learn.
This is
All
right.
Yeah. There we go.
It was with a good heart.
Okay,
Darn, you want people to
I think
do
that's it
that.
on guest reports. So supervisor reports, any updates from any supervisors?
The boat ramp looks great. Sorry,
You're not
so
supervisor.
sorry I missed it. That was a supervisor thing, and I thought I'd pop it in there.
And actually, it was very successful. I thought we had a good crew. We had, Doris was there, your son was there. He was a very nice gentleman, your husband, great. Mark Rogers was there, and I did not realize that he had just had hernia surgery in addition to his knees and all. But by gosh, by golly, he had one of those grabbers, and he was picking things up, and he was putting it on the bonfire, and unfortunately, we had a miscommunication because Steve was there with his toys, and he didn't know that we were going to start. And Kyle was there also.
Yes, Kyle was
Kyle
there.
worked.
Yeah,
I said it like that, I'm sorry. It was pretty cool. We had 3 dueling chainsaws going at the same time. It was really cool. I wish I would have brought my little mini one.
I had not planned on a fire.
Yeah,
I was thinking, well, if we get 3 or 4 people there, and we get some brush piled up, and then when it dries out in, early October, when hot dog season is good, we'll burn them, but that made it go much faster. That was excellent.
I'm glad we did.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I am
The
too.
piles were
And it
huge.
really
We couldn't get
does.
them on there.
yeah, it looks amazing. I mean, and you were there till how late?
7:35.
In 29 seconds.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I knew I left when I came back. And
Yeah.
I left
Oh, yeah, and he
I
did
came,
too.
I left it like it was 3 or 4 whenever I left. It was like 3 o'clock whenever I left, and then
Well, the fire was still going.
Right.
I was just tending the fire.
Yeah, I set my hair on fire.
Hot dog.
So I did set my hair on
Yeah.
fire, and I did set my shirt on fire.
Okay.
Did you really?
Yeah, Steve put it out. And I was like, oh, what are you doing? We had to be upside the
Yeah.
It's starting to smoke a little bit right up here.
Yeah, it was.
Wilmington, and we could see the smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
big
Well,
fire.
there's still burning over there.
But at least we didn't get emergency people show up like they did for you.
Yeah, I've been involved in it.
Steve's on the Arch Watch for Owen County. He's never. But I know one thing we're talking that boat ramp. Steve made a comment at Water Day, which again I think means to me and Doris about what do we want to do with that property? Should we sell it? Should we? I mean, what's the long term focus? Because it really doesn't have any value to us having that little whatever 2
Isn't
acre
that
parcel.
Well, I
Kyle was gonna use?
He was gonna go across one end, but my thought was, we have, DNR already owns the property at the boat launch. I don't know why it was deeded to us instead of the DNR. I'm sure they would have been supportive of the Mike Path also.
And they like to take care of it.
Well, actually, the park takes care of it.
Yeah.
So the park McCormick's Creek does a favor for,
Well, you guys want to become more
And,
self-sustained, right? So you could open a little kayak shack there. And
Yeah, there you
you know,
go.
bring kayaks out of it.
Yeah, there's
Have a
tires.
pickup, have a
Okay.
pickup down there.
Yeah, I
Pull it
will
further
share.
Yeah,
south.
van and ship them up.
Yeah, and I will share that that's part of the plan for my path on the advisory board. They were thinking of way to earn income. And if they get that one A-frame house, I refuse to call it River House, because we are the River House. No, that's one of the things that we're thinking.
Little
of
business
doing
they can
because
rent it
they're-
out to or
Yeah,
something.
because the rent's right there, so.
You just lease it out to a packing company that they would do.
Yeah.
your own stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that there's been conversation, oh gosh.
I paid $80
I
for a
apologize.
kayak in Jersey a couple weeks ago.
Well, there's
It's
a
crazy.
kayak
It was a two-seater,
organization in Indiana,
Mhm.
and they set off in Gosport, and they have reached out to us, and I gave them to Kyle on something like that, because again, it would be affiliated with my path, so.
there's not another public access though until you get downstream to
Worthington.
Worthington.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you drop in there, a lot of people get out free on some public access, but there's
Yeah.
a bridge.
It's
It
lousy.
is, so I said, I said, the official access not to Worthington.
And see, that's right, I thought, now, isn't there, a ferry?
Farmer's Ferry, but
It's
there's no activity there.
Because that's
Yeah,
what I'm
these-
saying, because
these
it's just
gentlemen
past
tell us about
county road.
There's a concrete block in the middle of the river.
Yeah.
It's not else left.
Yeah. But anyway, so we need to discuss what our plan is with that property. It doesn't have to be today, but we need to, if you guys have ideas, think about it, maybe for our next meeting to have some ideas and where, you know, we are going to part with that property, who do we approach and how do we need to do about that.
The other thing that's peculiar about that property is there are 6 water hydrants on that property. And there's an old building site where probably a house stood at one time, is my guess. But I don't know if it was once gonna be or was a campground, or I'd like to know the history of it.
Well, that's a totally next question.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, we'll come
Friday,
from around.
Friday, yeah.
Yeah, come from
Maybe that's
around
Friday.
Friday, and I will let him know ahead of time, not being sincere.
Yeah, let him research
And that
it.
would be, oh, he would love that.
Oh, yeah.
You're freaking kidding. Now, I do know that Kyle had mentioned when I first started working here, and he didn't say 6 hydrants, but he said that there was a water thing out there, and to make sure that we weren't paying for it, and we're not.
No, it's turned off.
So, but he didn't know, he just
Yeah.
came upon it, so. Wow.
And there's still some work to be done out there. We didn't get all the dead trees cut down, but it's good enough now it can be mowed, which was really the goal of that project.
And then the other thing that was brought up, was that on the boat ramp, or the other thing that was brought up was about our parking area out here. We talked about is making this a different parking situation in our, Steve made a comment about maybe making it more like a lot versus just a driveway you pull into, more safer. That way people aren't backing out the driveway to leave, it's you back in.
It's so bad,
Wow.
it's so
Okay,
dangerous.
well,
I believe that that asking people who aren't familiar with the area to pull in and visit and then back out.
Oh,
to
it's
the
I
street
see it's on here listed, yeah.
is a safety hazard. We should address. I've already seen that.
Yeah. So this is a quote from,
No, this is just Steve saying this is how much.
Oh,
Because
okay.
actually, what's gonna happen is Steve endorses doing this. I'm actually being serious when I say that. He's looking at me like, what? No, and then you're gonna help too, and you didn't know that.
I can help anyway. I got a shovel, I don't know what we're gonna do. We need to
And
lay-
Tim?
Well, I thought we need to do some
Well, that's
grading
something
first
we
before we
need
just
to
dump
do.
stone out there. We have to level it off and stuff, so. So we talked about needing a tractor and a box blade and, just kind of making a nice pad.
I don't think it requires a dozer. I think a box blade with a tractor could probably accomplish it.
It's the, construction fabric, which is gonna be the biggest.
Well, and we got a quote on that. I think it was $442 for one roll of
Yes, it's right here.
12.5 feet by 342 or 432 or something. Yeah.
I mean, I know I will try to get some grants to offset this. Right now, there's one that the foundation has reached out to me about, it's rapid response grant, it's only up to $1,000. $1,000 is $1,000, because it's money that if they don't get the money out by the end of the year, then they need to lose it. So, I thought this might be a good project for that, and if we could utilize that towards that.
Looking at your
So
schedule,
when I
you're talking about having
sketch,
a second entrance
Yeah,
as well.
we should explain this. So looking at that sketch, the road is on the left.
Yep.
The current drive has a 68 on the bottom edge of it. And Doris has suggested that maybe all we need is this parking area there that people can pull into, park, and then if we keep the current driveway clear, they can back into
Yes.
it to head out. But when we were brainstorming it out there, I included this additional drive that would make a U-shaped drive that,
If we did the additional drive, my just question would be, would we have to get permission from the county to have another access and like
Yes.
drainage and all that too? So I think that's, maybe we start with the pad and then pursue the additional drive later.
We've had, what's his name, out here. Yes, thank you. And they were here saying, whatever, okay, that's good, do it. And we'll sell you a culvert pipe at cost, they'll buy a culvert.
And
They
we
just
did-
reimburse them.
We should reimburse the cost of that. Okay. Yeah,
so it sounds like if we want to put in another drive, the county permission issue is not going to be big. But I still would support certainly taking this one step at a time, putting the parking lot in, and if we want to extend it.
No, these numbers feet. Good.
Yeah, these were feet. We
So
were
this
trying
is
to
like
have
1,770 feet this way. Okay. That's a long way.
1768 is what I think you're referring to, that number on that.
That's probably the square footage of that space.
Ah.
26 by
I was gonna say,
68.
that seems like a lot.
Yeah.
How many vehicles did we figure out park? Like 3 vehicles, 4 vehicles? If we,
I didn't lay it off.
okay. I didn't
We
know.
used the
I know
space
what-
that was available.
right.
when we did.
So I didn't know if we were trying
I
to shoot
think
for
we
a
should
certain.
be able to get at least 4.
4 or 5.
If we're not gonna go down that, I think 4.
4 or 5, something
Yeah,
like
because
that.
it's just on that top plateau.
But that would be very helpful. 4 or 5 more parking spots would be great. Although if we keep the drive clear, that eliminates 4 or 5 parking spots, so it's kind of a trade-off.
Yeah. This road that you
Yeah.
looped out to where the other road, to where the main road, seems to me I remember it kind of slopes way down
Yeah.
over there. So this would be a downward.
Actually, it's before you get to that drop-off.
It is.
Yeah.
Okay, so this would be on a level then.
Pretty much. There's a little rise going up to the road, but there is on this drive too. It's a little bigger down there, but we'd have to put a culvert in and fill it in. Make it level.
So one roll covers 5,400 square feet. Keep that road.
Yeah. And I forget, I think we said, maybe this came out to 3,043 by my calculations. So we had
Plenty.
one row would be plenty, and you need to overlap if you put. I like 2 feet of overlap so that it doesn't pop up.
Well, assuming, we'll do a vote, assuming the board's in agreement, we want to do this sooner than later with it being dry, I'm guessing, because it's probably easier to do that.
Do we need to do the grant before or after?
I can do
How's
that
it work?
after,
Is it
because
reimbursement?
well, the grant has to be submitted by the end of September. Okay, and so I will find out
Yeah,
like a couple of weeks after that. So
Okay.
by the end of this September, I will know.
So we're only gonna do it if we get a grant to do it? I thought we were gonna do it regardless.
Oh, no,
Just
I-
have to reimburse it.
So I would say do it regardless,
Okay.
because we have the money.
Okay.
We have
Well,
the money,
so
it
I
would just
will-
be nice.
I will entertain a motion to pursue getting the materials required to do this project. Motion by Doris to go ahead and move forward with our drive project. Do I have a second?
And I second.
Steve second. All in
Now,
favor?
now for clarity,
Yeah.
is that the parking area only, or
I guess that's
To
just,
live dry.
that would
I
be,
wanted, my motion would have been just the parking area.
Okay.
Parking pad. You would have used the current driveway to come in, and then you just go get your parking lot over in that thing.
so just to be clear, so it would just be for the parking space at 1760.
I still second it.
Any discussion? All right.
Colton, do you have any discussion on that? No, yes, maybe?
All right.
No, sorry, I was trying to get a time view.
Okay, but you understand what we're doing, right?
Yes,
Okay. And you like the idea?
I do.
Okay.
There you go. All in favor? Aye. All right. Sounds good. 4-0. That sounds good to me. Okay. Anything else supervisor update wise we need to talk about? All right, administrative steps, minutes and financials.
Did you all see the minutes I sent? you?
Yes.
Yes.
I'll go ahead and see
I'm
that.
gonna leave here in about 15 minutes, and everybody's starting to get to, so I mean.
Okay, were there any questions or corrections or anything like that before we about that? Okay, these are the claims, the banking statement. And these are the other statements. You will notice that I did go ahead and close out the savings account, and that the 15,000 was transferred into Hoosier, Indiana Trust. And even though I did that at the end of August, we actually got $20 more in that fund. So it'll be interesting to see what the balance statement is.
Yep.
And then this is the balance sheet. Go ahead and read this. Our checking account right now, $25,717.23. This is as of yesterday, the 22nd. Our endowment has $12,257.28. I have not received a new statement yet. They send those quarterly. We do have a spendable balance of $3,103.16. I was asked by the foundation, what do you want to do with this? Do you want to get a check? And actually, we could get the check and put that to our parking. Or we could just roll it into it, talk to them. What do you think about that?
I think my opinion is we should just roll it with.
Okay,
with,
and I would,
foundation.
and I would suggest that too.
I thought we had to have a
because-
minimum of 5,000 in there to be endowed with them, so I think.
Yeah, and we have, right now, we have a total of $12,257.28. Well, actually, $15,360 is what we have. But we have 3,000, and every year we get money on that. So, okay, so we just keep it there and let it roll, and then, just real quick, I think I told you everything else. 191.43 is our pass-through account. I'm gonna look at the foundation pass-through. Now that Amy and I can breathe, we're gonna work on some sort of fundraising, some sort of money-making effort, get that balance built up so that come February, I will transfer that money into the endowment so that we can get the match. Now, build up a foundation account. Trust Indiana 41,623, the Crane loan balance, at this time, 388,728, like I said, that will be paid off. And our CD is 44,505.80. So right now, our, assets are 123,730.62, so we have the money to do that driveway. Yeah, we're balancing it, we're making it, we're getting that money. Water Day was paid off, and actually with Water Day, the money on jump. Dad's ended up donating everything. And I did not know this, and I'd already gotten donations from DEP Water, $250. I put that towards cleaning for the land, and our food for that was $160.
Yes.
So I thought that worked out
Worked out
well.
good.
So, okay, and so that's it. I'll go ahead and pass it on.
Real quick here, while we're talking financials, remind me, what's Twinkle?
Oh, Twinkle is, it's $10.
It's $10, that's what it is.
It's $10. It is.
Yes. Well, I get a Twinkie, yeah.
No, it is actually and I may end up closing it, but we have used it for, it's a very good educational resource service for kids and for homeschoolers in particular. And so I can give you my account number because you do homeschooling, am I correct? This is where I got the compost bucket journal, this activity that, I mean, you put in
So
whatever
it's
topic.
a
you want.
monthly subscription you
That is a
submit?
monthly
Yeah,
subscription.
and they just give you resources on.
Yeah, you have
Okay.
access, unlimited access to the resources,
Nice.
and you can have more than one signer on it. And so I know that Amy, and it's nice, I mean.
Yeah.
to-
I did like those buckets, my kids love those compost buckets with you about the farmer's
Those
market.
were very.
They were so cute. Can we
Yeah.
have one? Of course you can.
Yeah.
Oh, it's kids. But that's what.
That's fine, no, I'm just making sure kind of there. And then Survey Monkey, we're using that still for our,
Yes, we are.
layer,
Yes, we are.
whatever our local working group
Yeah.
surveys.
And I do it for more than just local working group. Now, I haven't sent out a survey, what can we do for you, that's something
Right.
I do at the beginning of the month, but I do feel like it pays for itself on that.
I have a couple of things before you leave. I just want to make sure I get to them before you leave.
Yes.
First of all, this is our current and almost expired business and strategic plan.
Yes.
So I'm sending a copy home for everybody to look it over, and the back page that's not attached is things that I have in mind to do
Yes.
each year. And it's not complete because I had to leave and go to an appointment, and then my computer rebooted and I lost
Oh, no.
stuff. So, there's that.
Yeah.
And let's enjoy.
Yeah, this is something that we do need to get resolved,
We
for
need to-
2026.
We need to update.
We do need to
Right.
update it,
Yes.
so if you could just review it, and then we'll put this on the agenda.
Well,
as
I would-
the most
I would say,
important.
like in the past, what we need to do is, this itself needs to be a meeting in itself. We don't
Okay,
need to,
then we'll do
we don't want
that.
to just like squeeze into a board meeting, that needs to be, hey, we just pick a day.
Special meeting.
Yeah,
Invite-
Okay.
invite
Well, we'll
Nathan.
do
yeah, so let's pick a day and we're gonna go through and revamp this for the next
Yeah.
5 years.
Yeah, and I was planning like Nathan too, so. Alderman Moreland, we will email you a copy of that, business and strategic plan that expires at the end of 2025. And your homework is to just review it and, think of any changes, updates, whatever. And then we'll plan a special meeting at everyone's convenience. That work?
Works for me.
Is there a deadline, did Nathan say, do we have to have it done before the end of the year, before November 1, or when do we have to have our updates done for the next?
My understanding is that that needs to be decided by the end of December. It's not something that needs to be done now, but we need to have it, because the date's 2026. You know, and so I would like to see it done by November, you know, in case we need to make changes.
Well, we need to set a date now, if we're gonna have that by November, because the next meeting's gonna be the end of October, and so.
So you're right,
So we
so,
need to set a date if we're gonna do that, so if we wanna wait, and since Corbin's not here, we'll send an email out or something with, like, once you two look at your calendar and see what, you know, what date in October or November that works, to.
and then reach out to Nathan also, because I know his schedule's very busy too, so, let's put it in Nathan's lap.
Now, I don't think Nathan was there for previous.
But no, yeah.
My
What is it?
understanding was.
It doesn't have to be.
No, but we had a facilitator from Monroe.
Monroe County, Martha, I think was our
Oh, you
facilitator.
want me to reach out to Martha?
No,
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 no.
no, I didn't say that.
Okay, well, I do think, and Amy and I had discussed it, Amy was under the impression, I agree with her, that I think it would be beneficial to have Nathan here regardless. I mean, even if he doesn't need to be here, it's always nice to have someone
I
on
agree.
the side who's. been
Someone that's
around.
seen a lot of these plans.
Yeah,
It's like,
exactly.
hey, I thought I didn't know,
Let's
so that,
include
yeah.
Do me a favor, everyone, look at your schedule. Now, is this something that you need to be in person, or can we do Zoom also?
Oh, no, it needs to be in
In
person.
It needs to be in
face-to-face.
person, okay.
It'd be nice.
Marvin, did you hear that? Give me your schedule on, a time when you'd be able to come to River House and have a face-to-face, special calls meeting, okay?
It's the first
And
week
just
of
give me
December,
dates
Julie.
that are good for you, and then I'll
We
get
have
back
expired,
to
so I
you.
can Clay County, where they didn't.
Okay, that works for me.
Okay, thank you, sir.
We did it in March
I
with
was just
them,
thinking,
so.
we're going to be in the
There's,
studio.
there's a little harvest coming up here.
It's a pretty big
There
deal.
is, so,
Oh.
well, no, I mean,
I just wanna make sure we don't miss any deadlines
I
for the
know.
state, but as long as we've got till the end of the year to do it, I'm fine with doing this.
Well, you know what, I'm not so sure we know for sure that we have a deadline.
Let's find that out.
Yeah, I
Okay,
think that
confirm
there's
that.
usually a grace period on a strategic plan. I'd be very surprised if you actually have to have another one
It'd
by
be
the
nice
start of the
if
year.
We didn't have to do it in October, November, I really.
Yeah, and December's a tough, all that's a tough time.
Yep.
And the other thing is the state or the federal government putting out any kind of commentary guidelines about strategic plans that kind of incorporates, kind of what they want to see.
That's what the DSS is for.
That's what Nathan would be able to tell us when he comes.
Well, yeah, but if they've got something on the printed,
What I
So
would,
we're aligned with the states.
yeah, that's right. So we're not gonna invent the wheel on our own, that it's out there and we can utilize it
well, I
like
will
a cheat sheet.
Okay, what I'll do is, because I was not involved when this was done last time, and all this is new to me, and I understand your suggestions and all, I think they're great. Let me get that information, Tim. I'll make sure to get it to all of you, and then if you can send me dates, days, times, weeks, months that are good for you, but let me find out
what
about the grace period first, because that does make sense to me, I didn't think about it. And this may be something we can do in winter time,
Yeah.
and then I can make maybe hot chocolate and get pizza or something. That work?
That's fine. No,
And I have a whole bunch of asterisks here, so,
But Amy, you said you had some other stuff other than that to go over, so.
Yeah, so I've got a lot of things scheduled coming up, river wash programs, weed wrangles. The exciting news is I am getting $6,000 from Sikkim,
Nice.
and we're going to put in an educational, I've had a really bad afternoon, so bear with me. Educational native pollinator garden here, over here, Emma's water thing.
Pottersville.
Huh?
Pottersville. Those just thinking.
Rainwater garden.
yeah, rain
Yeah,
garden,
rain garden
and then a cover crop one too.
and a couple crops, yeah.
That's exciting.
Yes.
Good job. So
Yeah.
you said something you had to apply for, then on the grant,
I
or?
just had to tell them what we've been doing this year
Nice.
and what we're gonna do the rest of the year, so.
Sikkim is very, very impressed with Owen County, and it's because of
Talking
Amy.
about us.
All the time. Yeah, we are in conversation, and in a good way, and.
Oh, you know who else is talking about us? Riverwatch and Geological Survey, because our creek that we did our Riverwatch at, they say is perfect
Hey,
for that. So, Ginger, who was there at Water Day, is gonna just come out to just check it out, and they may have events at Elliston Creek because it's just perfect.
there we go.
And they like our
If you
media
put steps
room.
down to it, it would really be
It'd
nice.
be easier,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly, and they like our media room too, because it's kind of like a one-stop shop. They come here, we have the parking, we have a gator, which we didn't use at the last River Watch.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
To haul, I know, I can't believe we forgot we were hauling all this heavy equipment. Yeah, you know.
Making old people walk, and it was bad.
Yeah, it is pretty bad, but no,
And we have a huge pollinator garden full of Johnson grass, so.
No,
Attracts a lot of attention.
but that being said though, Amy also has news on that. The
Pollinator garden?
Yeah, how, Camilla?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's, she has to get through, I think she needed to get through September, or in the next couple of weeks, they're doing whatever they're doing at US Fish and Wildlife. And then she's gonna start working on a plan to shrink the pollinator garden and get it moved.
Renovate, yeah.
So it's not so large that we can't, nobody can handle it. It's too big.
Okay.
So,
Thank you. Any other updates from Amy? Very good.
Well, don't forget the movie.
What?
Our movie.
Movie night,
Yeah, and oh, did I not put those flyers?
October 7th.
I
There's
thought
Yeah,
I
yeah, you
printed
did.
them. I did.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hoping that you'll take part, and this is uninvited, it's about the spread of invasive species. It's not just plants and bugs, it's varmints too, not human varmints, but jumping worms, wild boars, which, things like that.
It's good. I watched it.
Yeah, it's good, 60 minutes, and Amber Smallback is going to be our special guest and do some speaking. So that's very exciting. And again, extending our relationship with Sarah.
Good.
So I have, if you could take three, if I gave you each three, would you kind of place Tammy's up?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then I think that's.
I think too.
I think too, yeah.
There's two.
Because
What is
where are you taking?
Huh?
Three.
Oh.
Yeah.
Tim, would you like any?
Sure.
How many? Three?
I was just gonna say the garage.
And Erin, would you be able to, because
Yeah, I
can, you know, how many would you like?
I can take three.
There you go.
Hi, Golden.
Three. That worked for you. And that will help us out on posting.
No problem.
Now, who's got dibs on Babs?
I always feel bad.
So, in fact, I think Babs is already signed up. Because I know they did posters.
Oh, did you?
So, and, oh, I did like Babs and Walker. So I'm gonna give you that second
I don't go to the library.
one.
Last time I went to the library, they were like, we don't have any place to put that. I was like, please, whatever.
Okay, that's something
Public
that.
space.
Okay. So now that is something that we do need to bring up, that's not on the agenda,
Yeah.
I apologize. Maybe encountered this. She's planning a special event, I'm gonna talk to you, is that okay?
Yeah, well, Chris is gonna do a program for us. in
Chris
December.
Gonzo?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's wanting to do, he specifically requested the library, which is great,
We've used them how many times?
Lots.
and, just over and over. Well, they now have a new director, they have lost $350,000 in funding.
From
Yeah,
county.
From the state.
From the state.
And just from this big beautiful bill thing. And so they're needing to kind of cut corners. And initially, because we are not technically a nonprofit, they're going to charge us more fee for a community event.
How much are we gonna charge?
Do you remember how much it was?
I never found out how much the rental fee was because they immediately assumed we were nonprofit. I said, it's not a long story. Anyway, so, but there's a food deposit of $50 if we're gonna have snacks in there. But you get that right away.
Water or chips, but you do need to give them a chip. So they did waive the fee, because by all happened, they realized that, we are a municipality and that this is community
That was a
outreach.
very difficult conversation to get them to understand.
It's, things have changed at the library. They kicked out sounds from Bible and group, and so Farm Bureau took them under their wing. They just kicked out English, and yes, it is kicked out as a language. English as a second language is no longer there. And I get it, but, I'm just wondering if we need to start looking for another place to start having events, because, they're making it challenging, I'm not quite sure why. But we are getting that $50 back, I gave them a check. Right now in our books, if you look at it, it's a voided check, because I don't wanna have to deal with $50 all the way through December. And we are going to get it back, because we're adults, we're not gonna make a mess. Come on.
Right.
I mean, we have the extension office.
Well,
We
I
can
was gonna
still
say,
do
here in
that.
town, I've been having a group, you have the extension office, you have the IGA building, which the church or something, I think a lot of churches have that. And then you have fairgrounds, so I mean, those are your options in town for like groups.
And I like the idea that they're right. I will share, I like to try to keep a political. I do know that people who attend some of our events would not attend if we had it in those times. Just the same as if we had it at Pride, which had wanted us to be a Pride. Pride has reached out, the Golden Group wants us to partner with them and all this. I don't have a problem, that's something down the road that we can talk about, but as far as a community event, I'm gonna stand by that needs to be political, so we can find a place. I want to give you a heads up that the library, it would be easier not to just go there anymore. Okay.
You guys decide where,
Yeah.
because we're not gonna try to determine where you guys have
It's
these
going to
meetings.
depend
Yeah.
on the
Yeah.
size of the group you expect and
Oh, yeah,
the
exactly,
kind of activities that you're planning for the event, so.
exactly.
But there are other options, I mean, you're not
Oh,
stuck
yeah,
in the
and-
library.
Now, does the fairgrounds, do they charge?
Yes.
What about the art field?
I've never been there before. Do they have a meeting room?
That's,
They have a good sized room.
yeah, they do have a good size room when it's not flooded.
I don't know that I mean, it's not set up for, you know, I've had a really bad afternoon, so I can't think. You know,
Presentations?
yes,
Yeah,
Any-
because they're
Well,
all-
do they have restrooms and?
Yes, they do.
Okay.
yeah,
And they even
So-
have a kitchen if we decided to have food and coffee and things like that.
yeah, if it was a program that we didn't need.
What about the Lions building?
Oh, I didn't think about the lions.
I mean, we could use a wall, but they don't even have a wall at the art field, but the Lions Club has a wall that's.
I don't think I've ever been in a lions club.
I've been in there once, and I think it's actually wood walls, paneling.
Well, I just want to give you a heads up that moving forward, if you discover that we're not using library or if you talk with people, let's not make that the first issue because,
Also, I would like to say that things change. So,
no, and we'll monitor it.
yeah, it may change. I don't think we should strike it out, you know, and never
Oh,
use
yeah.
them. I think we should stay in touch, but their story may change.
And I get that too, and it's just unfortunate that this new director right off the bat, $350,000.
Yeah. They have.
What I don't understand is library is all about education. If you're providing an educational program, that should fit right in.
And it's a community building. So I didn't understand any of it.
But it's just, my biggest thing, and I guess, because I was talking to Frank Kaufman, I played a violin group with him, and he's no longer on the board because they have term limits, but I'm already making me write a check for bookkeeping purposes. Let me sign a contract. After the fact, if we trash it like college boys, in a frat party, I get it, we owe you X amount of money.
There's
But,
also a room at the YMCA.
Oh, I tried, the Y.
oh, yeah.
And they got screens there. The extension office and the Y both have TVs that you put on.
Yeah, the Y actually, right now, since we're not doing daycare anymore, I think it's more valuable. Because they had to cut the daycare program.
I know, but the big building was saying, but there's also another room.
Yeah, right when you walk in, there's community room.
Is that the one with the fireplace?
No.
Because there's a room with a fireplace, because I did you over there. Maybe it's not there anymore, maybe it's.
How long ago did you do that?
Okay, moving on.
But anyway, back to his point, like Steve said, don't really just keep a monitor on the library, but there's a lot of other options we can explore to have meetings, like the workshops and stuff. All right. That's good. Workday follow-up.
We already did that.
Layer design grants.
Layer design grant, as you know, I did receive it, I did sign the contract, if you wanna see the contract, I am waiting for the contract, here's a whole thing, Google, for them to sign it also, and, the, group that did the initial quote for the design, to do the design, they reached out to me immediately and said, congratulations, and let us know we want to bid on this, and I want them to bid on it, and we did it, so just give you a heads up for that.
Now, Steve Vaughn, I think, suggested another company.
No, this is the company that he suggested.
Oh,
Oh, I apologize, the one that we used for the current construction grant, we cut them off.
okay.
In the design grant, I used someone new. They're actually someone that the Stanger group who was doing the construction, they work very, very closely with. They have a really good relationship. And Stephen was the one who told me, this is who you want.
Yeah.
This is their specialty. And so I'm very excited. And I'm gonna ask him to do it as well, because you know that the design is 7 additional points that need to be addressed, and we can use the one design for each grant that we apply for, construction grant, implementation grant. I've already talked with Stanger, and after they get done here, they're gonna look at the sites I'm talking about, and if they can double up some of the sites and make it fit into that 100,000, it's gonna happen, and then we can get it done sooner than later, instead of 7 years, maybe we can get it done in half.
Nice.
So there's.
I just want to caution everyone that
Yes,
we want to get through this first project and see how we like it.
Yes.
before we get
no,
to
and I
it.
do understand that,
Yeah.
because the next grant, I don't even apply for it until May. And so this project, which leads us to the implementation grant status, we have already talked about it. Happy thoughts, fingers crossed, October 20th. Weather permitting, it shouldn't last that long, and so we will find out by the end of the year.
Are they expected to take a month or 2
Uh,
weeks, or what's the plan
okay.
from start to finish?
I was told perfect case scenario, and of course it's construction and weather, again, perfect case scenario, 2 weeks, worst case scenario, 4 months, meaning roughly 2 months. No, not 4 months, 4
4
weeks,
weeks.
4 weeks, I'm sorry.
Depending on weather.
When,
If
that,
the
yeah, it
river
should
doesn't
be,
flood.
yeah, it depends on, and of course it's raining now. But no, it's really a small project.
Yeah.
That's the thing, so,
Okay.
I'm very excited about that.
All right, well, I'm gonna step out, but I'll catch you guys next meeting.
Good luck.
Okay, well, wait, one more thing real quick, Woodland sponsorship, this came from us. They are, if we did the big sponsorship, it's $708.96, which is covering every landowner, which is why I was encouraged, the minimum that they suggested, $250. What do you vote? What do you think, Owen? If it was me, I would do the 700.
I don't know what you're talking about here, what's.
Indiana Woodland Stewardship.
And we do get some perks from that.
What would be the perks?
And last year perks. Well, some of the programs. You know, we were, Amy was trying to reach out to the Woodland Steward on getting some programs and information and speakers, and it was kind of like, well, we don't support us, so why would we support you type of thing. And this came to my attention, I guess the last time that we were members of this was under Devin, it wasn't Sean.
Yeah.
But an old lady called Amy and kind of gave her what for, kind of screamed at her, why are you not part of this? Why are you not part of this? This is important. And then,
Shameful, you should support your county.
yeah, it was,
Yeah, you're right.
and then Lee had stopped by a little bit after that, and Amy shared that, and he said that Sean had received the same voicemail, but we didn't know what to give because we never received an invoice or anything, and so Lee, and again, because Lee stops by a lot, so he talked to whoever handles that, and this is what they suggested, and I did confirm that back when we last supported it, it was the 200 some odd. It's up to you. You know
What
me.
does this get us though in terms of the actual,
But it
publication?
should be in what?
Our name will be in it,
Yeah.
that we supported.
Okay.
That's probably the biggest.
So
thing.
then Owen County landowners will know that we care enough
Yeah,
about the,
so we get,
So it's really more.
usually they have kind of a square kind of a thing and, the contributors, is that what we get with this amount of money?
Do we have a?
it would be on the desk over there.
Oh,
Well, my water all over the place. And if not, then I may have one on my desk. I thought they had one. Yeah. Shame on me, I had all these papers and that's.
Doris, are you familiar with Woodland Stewardship?
Yeah, I am familiar, I get one.
Well-
They get newsletters and stuff.
Yeah, when we talked about it before, this has been a few years ago, we thought it was a good cause to support. Certainly conservation minded. They have a newsletter that goes out to a lot of landowners and
Oh,
we talked ourselves into participating sponsorship at the first $250.
I'm okay with that, especially since we have so much woodland.
Yeah.
Yeah, so $708 would pay for all of it to go to the county.
But they're only asking for 250, right?
Well, either give the entire amount or contribute $250 toward the printing cost, whichever you prefer. This is a really good publication. I think people will read it to get it. And I'm all for supporting it. And you get one of these things. Is
Yeah,
that-
that's what you get, a business card. And then also you're on the website too, and, when
That's a
someone's
good thing.
looking,
Yeah.
they see our name, they know to come to us.
Well, I was about to say, if you guys want to do your monthly meetings and things like that, your first Friday where it's like you're trying to get speakers and things like that, they obviously have those where you can.
But Dan McDecker, I think, was chairman or something like that, he came and spoke to them.
Yeah, he's the president. He came 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think this is I totally support it. And I would go with either one, either the 7 or the 250.
Steve, you have anything?
No, I see, I get two.
Okay, well,
This is one of those things you may get benefits that aren't obvious to you, I think, because of the distribution of this.
and I do think that this is also something that they could probably use our assistance more than maybe some of the other entities that we support. You understand what I mean? And so I guess that's the reason why I'm feeling a little bit more, open.
Charitable.
Charitable. Well, it's just like Indian associations on water, what was it last year, we did the 2,000 for membership dues. And again, this,
Which we had a hard time rationalizing, but.
yeah, but we had Aaron, and so, and this goes to, and I think that's another reason why I was thinking more of the 700 than not, because it's just a few hundred more, and we're supporting our community, and they see that. And if they give us the option to make an ad over, which I can do that, business card side, because we care about it, and there you go.
Well, I will move, rather than go on with this, I will move that we donate the 708.96.
96 cents.
Yeah.
Second,
Corbin, what do you think? You like that idea about the Woodland Stewart donating the max?
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Steve, it looks like you have discussion.
Any other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
aye.
Motion carries.
Alrighty.
To get nays.
Okay, thank you. We'll get
I
back.
counted enough ayes to for it to carry.
We don't care if it's nays or not.
I'll go ahead, the appointment of election committee and board nominee. First off, I know I've talked with Tim, his supervisor position is up, again for election. Before I nominate him, I would see if he'd be interested in continuing. I know you've had a discussion.
Yeah.
And if not, I understand. So I'm not gonna put you on the spot by doing a nomination, but is that something, what are your thoughts on that?
I've thought about it a lot, and I really enjoy interacting with everybody. However, I think that young blood here would be good, not me. And number two, it looks like I'm going to be taking once again the chairmanship of the Sycamore Land Trust, and that's going to be again.
Wow.
Yeah, so.
Good job.
And that is a big job.
Yeah, so, and probably in first of the year then, so probably it's better to know when to say it, it's time to move on, so.
I am sorry, but you're still considered our mascot, advisory board member. You're welcome to stop by any time. If we could get some nominations by October, because this is due November 1st. And I know that Amy has someone, have you talked with that person?
I have not had a chance to talk to him yet. I will
Would you like to share the names so we can
Sure.
just see what everyone thinks?
Tony Minnick.
Is anyone familiar with him? I'm not. Okay.
I don't know his pet practices that he does. I don't know if he's conservation minded. I've never had that conversation with him. I did work with his father many years ago on doing projects. Yeah, be interested to see what his thoughts were.
So is he a landowner then?
Yeah, they own our house work.
Oh, okay.
And that would be good, to do a representation of that area.
Okay.
I'm not particularly fond of his father, but Tony's a good guy and he's kind of just waiting to be able to maybe do some more conservation practices. Because he doesn't have that opportunity at the moment.
Tim, have you talked with Aaron Dunn at all? I wonder if he would be interested.
Well, I've talked to him, but I haven't talked to him about this particular thing. Aaron is, I'm really impressed with Aaron. Aaron's he's young, what did you say, not even 30?
35, 32.
32.
Wow.
Oh, man. Oh, man. He's saying he's Corbin.
Yeah, he's so young that I can't even gauge his youth. So, I was so many generations behind me that, anyway,
It might be interesting to see if he would be.
yeah, Aaron is a good guy, and
Steve Orr back on board. He's retired. So long as a good one. Just waiting to see Doris's reaction.
would you like me to mention it to Aaron?
See what his thoughts are. I know his parents have been very good conservation minded people. I've never had, again, a conversation with Aaron before, but Virginia and John are really good conservationists.
And so, Tony is from Gosport area. Where's Aaron from?
Freedom.
Yeah, he's
Down the road.
in our neighborhood, unfortunately.
I don't think
Taking it all over.
I said, I don't think anybody's ever had a conversation with Aaron. He's very quiet.
Jim, of course he has.
Of course, he sure is.
What's this now?
Did he farm for Jim?
He is a farmer.
He lived on his property
Oh,
and
he
took
did. He
care
lived
of
there.
the property.
Well, he
I
still
didn't know
does.
Yeah.
That is an amazing thing, actually.
Yeah.
Because he's the caretaker, and the people that own it now are building a new house right now.
What a way to get that worked out. Figure that one out. With the state job.
Yeah.
Well, I know that this is an elected position, so we can have multiple names on the list.
Exactly.
I would encourage, because we did at one time with you, Steve, please talk to.
I'll talk to Tony. He may be too busy.
Yeah, and do talk to Aaron, and then I heard a conversation about someone else, or was that just a joke? Someone retired?
Oh, that was a joke.
Oh, that was a joke. Okay.
Well, maybe not.
I mean,
He used to be,
just be on board.
well, wasn't he
He
the,
served many years.
Because I
he
do,
was the chairman for a while.
I do understand having young blood. I also understand that retired people or self-employed people are more accessible and available.
How old was he?
75. I was out there the other day, signed up for the soil sampling program.
So,
Maybe 75.
I'm sorry, I missed who we're talking about.
Steve Worley.
Steve Worley.
Oh,
Steve, I think, is Corbin's uncle.
okay, now that brings up a question. When that happens, and I conflict. of
Be
interest.
better not to.
Yeah,
Okay, let's not pursue that then.
I
There's no
mean, the whole
relations.
idea is to get it spread out, to get, you
I
know,
will share, that's the one thing that I liked about Tony, how often have we had someone from the Gosport or even Quincy area?
Yeah.
And that would be, because I don't know anyone from Quincy, but I know that we have, you know, we're freedom heavy, you know, or even count, Holden, who was
Yeah.
part of that.
Tony
So,
doesn't have any idea, or doesn't want to. He might have a name from somebody up there that might be,
okay, and Holden, do you have any other names? I know that you don't.
you know everybody up there.
I don't know. People the Coopers on
I
board.
could say, I think Bill Brown is doing it.
Bill
I
Brown,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah, Bill Brown would be good. One of the Coopers might do it. I don't know.
Chris,
This might do it.
Well, how about if you two reach
I mean,
out,
they own
we're talking about
all of
meetings,
the
but they
land.
may all say, no, I can't do it.
Yeah, but just talking with people about the possibility of interest on this is good.
Yes.
It's, you know,
Oh, exactly.
sometimes you plant a seed there and it takes it a while, but maybe in a couple of years, one of them will be interested.
And then the other one is the election committee. I did reach out to one person, well, two people, but I have a feeling the other one.
It has
one
to
else-
be two citizens
And then,
one board member.
and then it has to be the chair.
Corbin.
Yeah, it has to be Corbin. And I actually talked to Daryl White. And the reason why I talked to Daryl, why are you familiar with him? Okay, he is a My Path walker. He used to be the chairman or whoever, president of the Y, and just, he's very much a community person.
Who are we talking about now?
Daryl
Daryl.
White.
Darryl White,
There
What do
was.
you think?
to do what?
To be on the election board.
Sure.
It's literally just a one day, and I think it's because he's on
I don't
the
know if
foundation
he knows many
board.
people to ask.
Yeah, and I just think it's important to have a community person on there, and because it's, having someone with conservation practices on the board is one thing. Someone on the community, like the foundation, and he's also on the Chamber of Commerce too. This is.
Or Mark Rogers.
Mark did it last year, and it has to be different every
Or
year.
Marcy Key.
I didn't do that.
My hearing aids aren't working, I apologize, Steve. But Daryl White and I will share the other person I talked with, and she said, sure, why not? I think I need a backup, and I do like the idea of having one. I did ask Sherry, who is now the CEO of the YMCA, and she's a record walker too,
Karen.
and she's involved in everything.
Can you,
And she goes, everyone hates me because what happened with that. No, right now, she said she's public enemy number one because they had to shut down the daycare. I understand why they did that. It had something to do with funding. I get that. No one's gonna remember this. It's literally a one-day thing. And she said, okay. Again, she's involved in all these groups. She's also involved on my Path Advisory Board, keeping that relationship, and they do own some land. I mean, she has an interest in soil health and clean water. That being said, I will have to follow up and confirm because it was just a one-time thing.
Do we have a description of the responsibilities for the election committee?
I can get it to you.
Well, I'm thinking about giving it to these people that we approached.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I will do that. I will do that. I know that Daryl already knows what it is.
if they could send that out, and I can copy it off and give it to somebody or something.
Absolutely, so I'll do that. So, but I do want to keep Daryl on, because I think that's important, also with the MyPath connection. He's involved in the ransomware. He looks very peaceful. Okay. Well, we can do an annual meeting initial planning next time. I just want to do, I want to get the date. Keep in mind, I do encourage that we have a fair, an expo. Have it at the fairgrounds, I usually say at school. The fairgrounds is a set it and forget it thing. And invite profit, for-profit, nonprofit, the Woodland Stewart, all of these booths. And then as far as the food, again, the fairgrounds has a nice kitchen area. I talked to you about having food science. If for some reason they can't do it, are we allowed to have the VFA ladies?
The who?
VA, yeah, veterans. Here.
You know what sounds good?
Uh,
Meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
Well, yeah, exactly. And no, I'm thinking I sit down and like that.
So
But no, they do, no. The veterans.
That little crispy
You know,
thing that Junior did.
What am I, you know what I'm talking about. Right now I'm having brain.
VFW.
Thank you. VFW, I know that the auxiliary ladies will put on food. They put on good food. They have
I like
the
that
best
food.
tenderloin, they have good meatloaf and things. Can we be affiliated with someone like that, Gordon?
So,
Why don't
just a
Yeah.
better-
Okay, well, I'm assuming that because that would be an outreach that we've never connected
I'm
with.
all for that.
And I think that would be very good. So come up with a date. That being said, you know the type of thing I am planning on doing. We are gonna have to have a meeting too. Do you wanna do it on a Thursday night or do you wanna do it on a weekend during the day? And make it like a big fair expo. Give people a reason to come, not have someone speaking a topic or people fall asleep. Have them come see the latest, greatest thing. Holden's gonna be there saying, hey, ISDA, we're doing, he is gonna be
Really gonna need that
amazing.
headshot,
I'll
yeah.
check the schedule.
Aaron, yeah, no, and again, though,
Nitrogen,
photos.
phosphorus.
trust me on this one. We need to give people a reason to start coming, because once upon a time, people did come to events. Events were special. Shoot, I remember my mom and daddy dressing up for events, having bands, dancing. They were huge. COVID hit, and like with Civic Theater, they used to be sold out crowds. People got out of the habit of going, and
Society has changed.
society
Yeah,
has
this is
changed.
before
So
home
I
theaters
think-
and cell phones.
Well, and I think that if we give them a reason, you know, to see them, and I did confirm with Nathan that we can have for-profits, and one of those people is that cover crop company right there. So
Fire
people
City.
look- Yeah, so that gives you an idea.
Just give them a heads up, you gotta drive all the way here in horse and buggy.
Well, see, if it's at the fairgrounds, they can park there. I'll have a pooper scooper. My husband, back in the day, and he was in a marching band, you know what he did? He scooped up the poop after the horses, and that's a true story, as a teenager. That was his job, and he got cheered.
Okay, so what's next?
Okay, so we'll come up with the date next time, because we do gotta get that confirmed, that's the only thing. You know that we have the plat books now, that's the update. Yay, we'll start pushing those. You
Now,
know,
some people have signed up for Black Book.
I did see that, and I will reach out to him. We just got those, we have the boxes there. I told you about the fall conference. It is whatever day, it's in October. The 15th through the 17th. So Amy and I will be there. We're not doing the 15th, which is a Wednesday. It's a Wednesday night, and there's nothing going on, and a lot of districts will not be there, and so they understand, oh, we're not gonna be there, but, the 16th and 17th will be there. Okay, last thing is the Arbor Day tree thingy. I did have a meeting with, Parks. I did tell them about Amy's magnificent idea that she's already been working on, having a huge pollinator festival the last Saturday in April, which is traditionally the free tree giveaway. That whole week, Amy and Mark Rogers, friends of mine, are working on Earth Day, Arbor Day, water extravaganza. Beginning with Tuesday, a film about Earth Day, even though Earth Day is Wednesday, we can't get the template then. Okay, the trees that we want to keep with the same amount of trees. If we give the trees away at Pollinator Day, we will get rid of them.
Okay, why do we want to keep the same number of trees? How did it go last year?
Okay, last year, it went well, except for, remember, we got shorted 400 trees. And we had to give those away, actually, the Parks Board did, because I told them, you know what, these are your trees. It was poplar and plum. And they gave them away at 2 farmers markets. They were able to give them away, but they realized that they made a mistake on the tulip tree, because no one wanted the tulip tree.
So, what do you mean we got shorted 400, but then we had extra?
There was a mix-up, and the driver forgot to pick up one of the orders, that's what happened, and he had to go back and get the other trees.
At a later date?
So they weren't
Gotcha.
available for the
Yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah, because what's happened is the Parks Board, they order 2 varieties, and then we order 7 varieties. This year, and so they're 2 separate orders. This year, I'm going to order them all on one order form, and I'm going to get reimbursed. Last year, we had a total of 1,400 trees to give away, and actually it was more than that, it was 1,600. However, I already know we don't need a pollinator for persimmon, but a persimmon technically is, because there's so many persimmon trees, but it's supposed to have a pollinator, so we ordered 400 persimmon trees, and each person got 2, so that was a giveaway of 200 trees. And the same thing with the palm tree. And, but the 1,400, we really got rid of them pretty quick, if you think about it, granted that we were short. And of course, the plum tree at the farmer's market, they went very quickly. So I would encourage that we keep that amount, especially since this is going to be a much seen track to get event. I would encourage,
Well, if it is, should we get more? It's my
we can do that.
That's my question.
Yeah, we can do more.
You guys, so different counties do it differently. This year will be the first year they're doing it in Park County. Decided at their last meeting that they're going ahead and doing it. And they did like the ones that are already the mixed trees as opposed to, because they have bundles here, like they're one
Yeah, and I
nursery.
wonder about
They have the
that.
wildlife bundle, so you get 10 of each tree of each of these. So you get American plum, black cherry, black gum, pin oak, you get all of these different ones. And that was the best deal, was the one that they were going with, was the wildlife, and then a couple of the upland ones, because you get 10 of each trees for $70, as opposed to like choosing which trees. And then that way it's more of like a, this is what we have left over, sort of deal, as opposed to.
A lot of people wanted elderberry though, and we didn't even order, or we were too late in ordering it to get them.
Yeah, ordering is October 1st.
I do also know that TNC, which I talked to Josh Griffin the other day, who's with Pheasants Forever or Wildlife Forever or Quail Forever, and he said the TNC placed an order for like 150,000 trees. They don't have any plans to get rid of them apparently. So I was telling him that certain counties do these tree giveaways, and so there might be. I haven't talked to him since then, or whatever. But there is a chance that they would be looking for places to get rid of those.
Windfall of trees.
Right. So if that does come, obviously, that might be something that we can do at a later date as well. Because you place your order now, and you got it later. So if they do decide that they wanted to go for the SWCDs, then I'll let you guys know, and I'll keep you in the loop about that. If we want to take some trees off of their hands,
I assume they ordered a variety of trees.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Did people want what conifer did we have last year? I don't know.
Did we have white pine?
White pine, probably.
Okay, last
Did
year,
people really want those? I don't remember.
well,
White pine are usually pretty popular.
Are they?
what we had was actually Norway's.
Oh, no, it's first.
And I got made fun of because we know that's not a native Indian tree. I will share that when I talked with the park and I gave them a list of the available trees, and you can see my asterisks, they would like to sponsor a red bud. We did that 2 years ago. That's always good. And a bald cypress. And their whole point is they want trees for urban families. And so like on the 10 trees, there are some properties that can't handle that. And then I thought if we could do the 7 other trees, the number one being elderberry. That would be the fruit tree, because we were disappointed that we didn't. My fault for not being over. I waited to discuss this on the board, and the trees were like sold out the very first day. So I'm thinking, and if we double it, elderberry would probably be one that you would want to do 400 varieties as opposed to 200. And Doris just agreed with me, so there you go.
Is that true?
No, did you agree with me?
I do agree with that.
That was me, but she does agree anyway.
Okay, so if I say get maybe,
You need to
400 more
leave here.
trees, maybe,
I'll leave here in a little bit.
so, 400 of elderberry, is that what I'm hearing? Yeah, because that should go, remember we did extra on the swamp white oak the first year I was here? We literally were throwing those away, and I hate to say that the unfortunate tornado was there was a positive side because landowners lost their trees, and no, I'm serious. Here, take 50.
Yeah.
We had ordered so much of those. The other tree that, was last one standing was poplar. The park board understood that, they don't wanna do that again. The other one was my tree that I picked, which was scarlet oak. I love my scarlet oak. It's gorgeous, it's a fast growing tree, no one.
Is there a button bush on that?
We do have a button bush.
Because
We
that
did
was
2
popular
years.
last year.
Well,
So what was popular were ornamentals
yes,
primarily.
and fruit trees, persimmon.
Elderberry's not one.
Actually, I think we sold out of persimmon first, didn't we?
It's considered an ornamental.
Oh, yeah,
Well,
that one.
they're
Just
small.
pretty berries.
It's a shrub, it's not even a tree.
Yeah.
I think 9 bark,
That one's kind
may
of
have
shrubby.
been,
That one's kind of a shrub too.
yeah, that one is a shrub, and it's a shrub that you either love it or hate it.
Yeah.
I like it, but the
Colors
feelings
as
are,
well.
but it's not necessarily so. They do like nut trees. I was toying with the idea, we do 1 nut tree, and I can pass this around. They have, black oak, black walnut, bur oak, cherry oak, chick pin oak, pecan, pin oak, red oak. I know that river birch was very, well, that's not on that tree. How about butternut?
How about what?
Butternut? He said no. What? What'd you say?
No, I say
He
California.
was being mad.
That's
No.
invasive.
What's invasive?
He said,
It's not.
he said cow right there, and they were laughing at him.
That was for Aaron only.
Okay, YouTube, time out. You can be very important,
So
but what are your
my
thoughts?
experience with butternut is they need a lot of space. They
Okay,
have
so
a
no.
lot of wild
Yeah,
ways to go with it.
Branch like that.
Yeah.
There are 2 hickories too, the shell bark and the shag bark. And I think
I love
those,
my shagbark hickories.
I like shag bark because I pull the bark off, I use it in the charcoal grill.
Well, I would say we have to have at least 1 white oak species, don't you?
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because white oak is really what we want to see propagated.
Yeah, because there is a shortage of white oak, I do know that, so I was gonna encourage, as far as the oak being white oak.
Well, there are several species that fit into that category. White oak, the chicken oak, I don't know if they have bur oak in there, swamp
They
white
do.
oak. All of those are,
I wonder if people are coming around to pick up trees, and you tell them it's a swamp oak, probably turns them off
Yeah.
in the name.
just take
Yeah,
the
so-
swamp off, tell them it's a white oak.
Now,
Yeah.
There's an oak tree.
Now, I heard that on the pin oak, now, in my understanding, and that the stinky tree, that they call the pea oak also. The pin oak, in that stinky, if you cut it.
Well,
I think it's.
Well,
I mean, you can.
a lot of oaks have a-
Oaks have us overkill when you cut
yeah, in
them.
the city.
But doesn't that have kind of like a
Pyramid,
pyramid shape?
yes,
That
they're-
might be a good one, is that?
a lot
Of
of people
course.
plant them in for yard trees, pin oaks. They don't make great lumber, but
Okay,
they make pretty good firewood.
okay.
Yeah, they're oak.
Well, forestry people, tell me what oak. Because,
White?
the white
Yeah,
oak.
I think
White
that'd be
oak
the
if
most
you can get 'em.
universal.
Okay, let's do white oak then.
And if you have, I think they say, what's the second choice if that's not available? You can put chinkapin or even bur oak is a nice tree.
Bur oak, okay. And so right now we have elderberry and white oak, like I shared, both cypress and red, that's already on there. So that's 2.
I like pecan, but they kind of need sandy soil.
Yeah, and we did those last year.
Yeah.
too. That's one thing. I,
I put 2 pecans in my father's yard. They're, I don't know, 35 feet tall. We haven't had a nut yet. Yeah.
Ours, I planted mine 4 or 5 years ago and I haven't done nothing.
We have tons of them. I planted 4 in our yard at the same time, out of the same bundle. And we have nuts galore, but the damn squirrels get it before we ever
Do you
get
have sandy soil?
clay. They're doing great.
Genetics or something, yeah.
Shoot the
There
squirrels.
is a,
Shoot the squirrels.
no, they don't
Roast them
have,
over top of your
yeah, they don't have chestnut, but I don't think that,
Chestnut oak,
they have the chestnut oak.
Yeah.
But now, isn't chestnut oak different than chestnut?
yes. And you can get chestnut trees at the,
Because I think that would be very popular to people chestnut.
yeah, but they're expensive. They're hybrids. They're
Okay.
cross, they're Chinese chestnuts.
Should we do it something new or?
Persimmon?
I'd say that. Would be popular.
Yeah.
Because we did persimmon last year, that's.
I'll tell you, people like persimmons. They were
Yeah.
anxious to get them.
Yeah, they were.
That was the number one to go.
Popular
And
tree.
persimmons are, they're aggressive, I have like 1,000 persimmon trees and they're popping up all over and all over, my husband cuts them out, so. well, And granted, I'm unique, I get that.
You can dig them and come bring them down there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, right.
Well,
Sounds like a plan.
I don't know, and you say that Veronic is not a good tree.
So did you put pin oak on the list?
It's not on the list, I put one that's over pin oak.
Okay,
And I put bur oak as the backup.
okay.
That's what we put pin oak also.
Well, pin oak, is very popular as a yard tree. They have a beautiful shape, they have good color, they're brown wood in the fall.
That's right.
They're widely planted, I think it would be popular.
If we do a nut tree, we might want to go ahead and do the pine again. People really like those. I mean, I've never had luck with the pine.
Yeah, give
And
the
I'm good
people what
with
they want
trees.
though.
Yeah,
That's what they want, so.
We want them to plant a darn tree.
Yeah, they get something they're not excited about.
Regardless of the generosity.
So we have an edible nut tree, you know, because I know walnuts have nuts, but you need to know how to. So, well, no, acorns, I've done acorns, but you have to just rinse them and rinse them and rinse them over and over again, because they have that, what is it?
So do, why are you rinsing them?
No, to get that acid taste out.
Yeah.
Oh, to eat them?
Yeah, that's what I do. I don't rinse them, that's what I do. Well, do we want to do some sort of evergreen? They have not Norway spruce.
Well, did you put bald cypress down?
Bald cypress is on here, so we have that.
It's not an evergreen, but it looks like one.
Close.
But white pine, with my experience, I think white pine are popular, but they need a lot of space. They grow fast.
Okay.
And then they get blown over.
Yeah, they,
Yeah, they're not very,
they do.
yeah,
They have root.
I've had problems with that too. Well, let's see, we don't really have a bush on here, except for elderberry, which, that's a tree or a bush.
It's a bush.
It's a bush,
Okay.
yeah.
So
Barely
About
a
like
bush.
5 foot high, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of goes
It's almost
like this, yeah.
kind of looks like a weed almost.
Yeah.
Like it
I
really-
agree.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh, really?
The
Some
wild
redwoods
ones,
in-
yeah.
We had them all over our ditch.
Redwood button.
Yeah, I've got, and, just as you coming in where that yellow gate was. there's a
Andy,
whole
is
bunch of
red button
Oh,
on
yeah.
Yeah, that's been taken. So we just need 2 more trees, and I'll tell you what we have: pin oak, white oak, bald cypress, pecan, elderberry, redwood.
Well, there's that dogwood, wood.
Okay, so that's 6, we just need 1 more tree.
What is that?
Gray dogwood.
Gray dog.
That's what we have out here, and we had that 2 years ago.
That's
Those
like an
sting.
ornamental.
Yeah, it's an ornamental, and the silky dogwoods are.
Although there are
that's
some
fine.
like that.
You know, we might, if we do another fruit tree, because I need the foresters to tell me what to do, but I do know that when we had the first Arbor Day giveaway, and we were short plum, we had a lot of disappointed people.
American plum,
They
is that
came
on the
for the-
list?
That was, yeah, and that's what we were short, and a lot of disappointed people, so we might want to go ahead and do that again.
Yep.
Okay, so I'm gonna read these one more time. Pin oak, white oak, bald cypress, pecan, American plum, elderberry, red pepper. Sound good? And then we put down elderberry as 400, pecan will be 400 to give them a pollinator. Now, there's river birch, you had mentioned adding another tree, we could add river birch, I know that those are very popular, very popular.
So the list, did you read everything that they've chosen?
Yeah.
Does that sound good to everybody?
And
Okay,
he
we're
had
done.
mentioned- Well, he had mentioned adding one more tree.
Add river birch.
Okay, we'll add river birch, okay?
I thought the list was full.
Okay, Amy, are you finished now? Would you like to suggest another variety?
Okay, do we have a motion?
You might have a chair from that.
So moved. To adjourn.
Tim,
I second.
Steve,
I vote
what time
yes.
is it?
6:30?
Oh, is it 6:30? No, I kept you too long.
No, 6:30 again.
These girls did not tell you about the Women for the Land,
Oh,
Women's
no, they
Learning
didn't.
Circle.
She was so
But Erin did a fabulous job of
did.
informing
I
everybody.
have heard
on
that.
the holidays.
You both did a great job.
You both, I thought it was a very good
Doris
event.
Lynn,
We
the
did
venue
have a
was
gate
amazing.
crasher, if you remember.
My
Oh,
wife thoroughly enjoyed it.
I'm glad she
She
did.
did.
That's
She did.
exciting.
How many people did your amateur get together?
18, I think.
Oh, that's a good group.
But, and does that count Leslie, who came so late? Leslie
Oh,
was the one who came at 1 o'clock. Yeah, but she was
I
fine.
was like, we're almost done. She goes, I'll just sit and listen. Is it okay?
Yeah, I'd seen her before, but I didn't know who she was.
She's the one who
Kelly,
was
she has
so
the
late
Celtic.
the last
Oh,
time.
yeah.
Yeah, Kelly
Yes,
did.
I remember now.
Hey, I have one other comment, another subject I'd like to just mention. The information that Holden showed you on this phone
Yes, sir.
at the state level,
Yes.
it would be really valuable for us to have that information available for the county committee to help them understand better
Yes.
what we do.
County council, you mean?
County council.
Yeah, and I do
sorry.
plan on doing that, so.
Okay, but that's new information, that's not what we normally show them in our leverage sheet, but it's valuable from the standpoint of understanding what agricultural means in Indiana.
Yes, exactly.
The other thing that we need to help them understand is, we had this tree that we had storm damage that did $1,800 worth of electrical damage here. The tree that blew
And actually, it did more than that, 1,800 to clean it up, plus
was
the invoice.
1,300 or whatever it was. We need to somehow work that into our story of, oh yeah, we do have other expenses that we have to plan for and be prepared to handle like this one. Because they've never heard anything like that before from Soil and Water.
Did
What I'm-
some insurance help with that at all? Okay.
Yeah, we had a deductible of 1,000, and so we ended up getting, the invoice was run, not quite 1,700, and so we have 1,600 that was deposited into our account.
No.
No, I paid them, no, it's, you're right, the money still went, but, we paid 1,000 and then insurance paid the 600. I didn't say that, I apologize. because I
And then
just-
we paid the 1,800
I,
for the tree
we
removal.
did do this, yes, I did not run out of insurance, I guess I should
So
have.
it's
And I
$2,800 out of our pocket. And it could happen
But
again.
this is what I want.
It
Yeah, there's still trees out there.
Or we could have a flood, we could have a big bill.
This, and I just said that I have.
My fear is that if we have shared so much information with the county council, they understand we have a checking account and the savings account, and they think we're sitting pretty financially.
And actually, they don't know everything. I do not share that with them. The only thing I shared, because I had shared, was on the virtual. And as far, and I do share what we bring in to the county as far as what they literally have no idea what we have. Unless, correction, they do, because just about everyone except for one person from the council came to our annual meeting. And that was
So they saw.
and so they did see that.
So, and, you know, I'm not saying we hide, conceal that side, but they also need to know the expense side.
bond rate.
Well, I will keep you up to date. I do intend to go to the next meeting. I need to confirm with Sheila first because there's a time and place to start going to it. If they're still working on budgets, which, yeah, they are. And, I have no place in going in there saying, hey, you don't have to do it because, yes, it sounds professional. Candy or listeners or anything else. And so, okay. Yeah. So now,
Now I'm done.
okay. Anything else? Tim, you said you made a motion? And Steve, you seconded it?
That's right.
And what time is it now? 6:35. Okay. Thank you. And I'll get that checked out tomorrow.
So we did a Women's Learning Circle Thursday, after we did the one, like down in Evansville, at Seeking Harvest Farm. And it was really cool because we got to go out and see specialty crops. So we had hoop houses and all that.
See, that would be, well, see, I
So we
really,
will end over in Morgan County coming up too.
Forestry.
Thank you for coming.
We did forestry and spring.
Yeah, we did March. I wanted to, I really was serious if we can do it, we have one at the winery.
Yeah.
Specialty crop, have one tasting. I know Tony would be ecstatic, he's got a whole bunch of new equipment and all. I think that would be good, and they would
I don't
provide
think
the
it
food.
would be good,
Oh, you don't think so?
no,
Really?
because there's not a private room for a get together like that.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
so specialty, so narrowed down to specialty that well, not a lot of people are gonna be interested in grapevines.
I will
There's
say.
wine tasting though.
Yeah.
Well, we have to go
No,
there.
I will say, the only thing on that, they would, and I, because Tony has actually told me this on theater, when I went to do a performance there, they will open up the winery on the day that the traditional is open, so that we would actually have the.
Well, even at that, it'd be hard to get, you can get a big enough area in that, for that.
Oh,
It's gotta be outside. They don't have
yeah,
any-
The practices that we would want to promote for specialty would be hoop houses.
Oh, we did get Concord.
That, there's a guy out by Freedom that
Jim,
Raven Valley Farm.
we've done some there.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
Now,
Same
ball.
It's a lot. That's about it.
now, what about Amy? She owns, not this Amy, much Amy. They do own a farm, they own a lot of land. She actually uses food houses and turned them into tunnels. She's a mushroom lady to grow mushrooms, and
That would be good.
interesting. It's up to you. And she's off of, yeah, you're not finished. Unless you are impressed, you're not
Do
invited.
they have wine? Do they have wine?
No,
That's wine.
Is it they are?
No.
Still going.
Her place is Fish Creek. She's on Fish Creek before she's at, but no, it doesn't, and it doesn't even have to be special.
I love you.
I like wine, I got excited.
I
He's so excited, he made.
We're going to the winery Thursday, this Thursday. There's a YMCA bench